Welcome. In the next 15 minutes, we're going to focus on the part that actually wins the contract, writing the proposal itself, not registration, not finding opportunities, the document. Most small businesses lose not because their company is weak, but because their proposal is hard to score. A federal proposal is a very specific kind of writing. It is not a brochure, and it is not an essay. It is a structured response to a government solicitation that an evaluator will grade against a published checklist. So everything we cover today is about one goal: making it effortless for that evaluator to give you points and to justify choosing you. We'll walk through how to read the solicitation as a writer, how to turn it into your outline, how to draft the executive summary and each volume, the specific writing techniques that score, and how to review before you submit. Let's start by getting inside the evaluator's head, because that's who you're really writing for. Before you write a single sentence, understand who's on the other side. You are not writing for a reader who will savor your prose. You are writing for an evaluator whose job is to score your proposal against a published checklist. That one shift changes everything. First, they score against criteria. Every evaluation factor has specific standards, and if they can't quickly find where you've satisfied one, you get 0 points on it, even if your company could do the work brilliantly. Second, they read fast and they're tired. Yours might be the 9th proposal they've read that day. So every important point must be skimmable in seconds through headings, strong topic sentences, and graphics. Third, the evaluator has to justify the award in writing. So hand them the exact language. Clear, quotable strengths they can drop straight into their scoring report. And fourth, they cannot assume or infer anything. If you don't say it explicitly, as far as the evaluation is concerned, it doesn't exist. Your job as a writer is to remove every ounce of effort between them and your points. The writing process begins not with writing, but with mining the solicitation, because the RFP literally tells you how to write the winning proposal. 2 sections are your marching orders. Section L is the format rules, page limits, how many volumes, font and margin requirements, file naming, what each section must contain, and how to submit. Treat these as pass-fail, because they are. Violate them, and you can be eliminated before evaluation. So build your document shell, the headings and the section skeleton, to match Section L exactly before you write any content. Section M is your scoring rubric, the evaluation factors, how they're weighted relative to each other, and the standard for each rating. This tells you what to emphasize, and importantly, how much space to spend where. Don't lavish 5 pages on a minor factor and 1 paragraph on the most important one. Here's a technique that quietly wins points. Echo their words back to them. Use the RFP's exact terminology and headings. If Section M evaluates technical approach, name your section technical approach, not our methodology. When your headings match their checklist words, they find your answers instantly. Here's the single most useful writing tool in federal proposals, and almost nobody outside the industry uses it: the compliance matrix. The key insight is that your outline is not something you invent. It's something you extract from the RFP. Go through the solicitation and pull out every requirement, every place it says the contractor shall do something, into a simple spreadsheet. For each one, note the RFP reference, the requirement in plain words, and a column for where you'll answer it in your proposal. Then you write to the matrix, top to bottom. Why does this win? 4 reasons. It guarantees compliance. You physically cannot forget a requirement, which is the #1 reason proposals get tossed. It becomes your outline. The ordered requirement list is your section structure already aligned to how they'll score. It speeds the actual writing because each row is a small, concrete prompt. Answer this one thing, then move to the next instead of staring at a blank page. And it survives review because anyone on your team can check that every single shall is covered. The matrix turns an overwhelming blank document into a checklist you fill in. Now you start drafting, and the first thing to nail is the executive summary. It's usually the most read page in the whole proposal. Senior people who never open the technical volume will read this, and it sets the evaluator's first impression. The biggest mistake here is making it about you. A winning executive summary is about them. It should do 4 things. Open by showing you understand their problem. Name their mission and their specific challenge, which proves you actually listened instead of recycling a template. Then state your solution and its value plainly, what you'll deliver, and why it matters to their outcome. Lead with your discriminators, the 2 or 3 concrete reasons you're the lower risk, higher value choice. And stay benefit focused, not boastful. Look at the example on the right. The weak version says Acme is a leading provider with 20 years of experience and a commitment to excellence. That's about Acme. It's generic and it's unprovable. The strong version opens with the customer's reality. 4,000 tickets a month, no room for downtime. Then ties a proven, quantified result directly to their benefit. Same facts, completely different impact. Write every summary that way. The technical or approach volume is usually the highest weighted part of the proposal, so this is where careful writing pays off most. Its job is to show how you'll do the work. Concretely, 3 rules. First, mirror the Section M order. Structure your subsections in the exact sequence and with the same headings the evaluator uses to score. Never make them hunt or mentally reorder your logic. Second, be specific, not generic. We follow industry best practices is filler that earns nothing. Describe your actual method, the tools you'll use, the steps in your process. Specificity is what proves competence. Third, show you understand the risks in this particular work and how your approach prevents them. That's precisely what lowers the evaluator's perceived risk and raises your score. And here's a sentence-level pattern you can apply to every requirement. State, explain, prove, benefit. State the requirement you're addressing. Explain exactly how you'll meet it. Prove it with a metric or a past example. Then close with the benefit to the customer. State, explain, prove, benefit. Repeat that rhythm through the whole volume, and your writing will read as both compliant and persuasive. 2 more volumes, and both are about building the evaluator's confidence. The management volume answers who will do the work and how you'll run it. Write a clear org chart and key personnel section that ties named people to the exact roles Section M cares about. Include a staffing and retention plan that proves you can fill the positions and, just as important, keep people in them. Describe your quality control and your transition approach so they picture a smooth, low-disruption start. And tailor your resumes to this contract. Never paste in generic bios. Highlight the experience that maps to these requirements. The past performance volume is your proof you can actually deliver. Choose examples that are relevant, not merely impressive. Similar size, scope, and complexity beats a famous-sounding project that doesn't match. Write each one as a short story. The challenge, what you specifically did, and the measurable result. Quantify those outcomes. Percentages, dollars saved, uptime, deadlines met, because numbers are credible and adjectives are not. And make sure your references are real and current. Living contacts who will enthusiastically vouch for you when the contracting officer calls, because they often do call. Now the craft itself, how you write each line, because sentence-level choices genuinely move the score. 6 habits. 1. Turn features into benefits. Don't just say, we use automated monitoring. Say what it buys them. Less downtime, lower cost, faster issue resolution. The evaluator cares about their outcome, not your tool. 2. Use active voice and the word you. We will reduce your costs by 15% is stronger and more accountable than costs will be reduced. Make the customer the subject of your sentences. 3. Lead with the point. Put the answer in the first sentence of each paragraph, because evaluators skim topic sentences and may never read the rest. 4. Prove every claim. Pair each assertion with a number, an example, or a citation, because an unproven adjective scores nothing. 5. Use theme statements. Open your key sections with a short, bolded benefit line the evaluator can lift straight into their scoring notes. And 6. Use graphics for complex ideas, but always write an action caption, a caption that states the takeaway, not just figure 3. These 6 habits are the difference between prose that wins points and text that just fills pages. Let's watch the craft in action because this one move, repeated across an entire proposal, is what separates winners from everyone else. On the left is the kind of sentence that fills most losing proposals. We are committed to providing high-quality, best-in-class IT support services and have extensive experience serving government clients with excellence and dedication. Read it as an evaluator. It's generic, it's unprovable. Every word is about the contractor, there's not a single number, and against the scoring rubric, it earns nothing. Now the rewrite on the right, same underlying fact. Our engineers resolve 94% of tickets within the service level agreement. On the Army's IT desk, we cut average resolution time from 6 hours to 3.7, keeping 1,200 users productive. We'll apply the same playbook to your help desk from day one. That version is specific, it's quantified, it's about the customer's outcome, and it's backed by proof. An evaluator can read it and immediately write down a strength. When you revise your draft, hunt for every committed to excellence sentence and run it through this transformation. Specific, quantified, about them, proven. That's the formula. Before we talk about review, let's name the writing mistakes that cost the win, because avoiding these alone will put your proposal ahead of most of the field. 1. Not answering the question asked. Writers fall in love with what they want to say instead of responding to exactly what sections L and M ask. In this world, responsiveness beats eloquence every time. 2. Bearing the answer. If the evaluator has to wade through 3 paragraphs of background to find your point, you've lost the points. Lead with the answer. 3. All claims and no proof. Adjectives like robust, world-class, and seamless are literally invisible to a scorer who needs evidence. 4. Inconsistent volumes where your price doesn't match your staffing plan or your technical approach contradicts your past performance. Evaluators notice, and it reads as either careless or dishonest. 5. Ignoring page limits, either randomly hacking content at the end or running over and getting truncated. Budget your pages before you write. And 6. A templated generic voice. Boilerplate that could be any company bidding on anything. That signals you didn't tailor the proposal. And if you didn't bother to tailor it, why would they trust you with the work? The last step in writing is rewriting, because great proposals are made in revision. Do 3 deliberate passes, and ideally use fresh eyes who haven't been staring at the draft. First, a compliance pass. Go down every row of your compliance matrix and confirm each requirement is answered in the right place, using the RFP's own words. Fix any gaps before you touch anything else, because a compliance hole is fatal. Second, a score it pass. Hand the draft to someone who will play a harsh evaluator, grading against Section M, and ask them where they deduct points and why. That's far better to hear from a teammate now than from a debrief after you lose. Third, a Polish pass. Tighten the prose, cut the filler words, make sure every graphic has an action caption, and proofread carefully, because typos and formatting errors quietly signal sloppiness that the evaluator extends to your actual work. And here's a simple test for every single page. Skim only the headings, the first sentences, and the graphic captions. If that skim alone tells the evaluator what you're promising and why it's strong, your page will score even when they're tired. If it doesn't, rewrite until it does. Let's bring it together into a checklist you can use on every proposal you write. Build your outline straight from Section L and write to the exact words of Section M. Make a compliance matrix and answer every single shall in order so nothing is missing and nothing is out of sequence. Open with an executive summary that's about the customer's problem and your value, not your company history. Inside each section, use the rhythm. State the requirement, explain how you'll meet it, prove it, and tie it to a benefit. Turn your features into quantified benefits for the customer at every opportunity. Lead with the answer in each paragraph, and back every claim with a number or example. And before you submit, review in 3 passes. Compliance, score it, and polish. If you remember one principle, make it this. Compliant first, persuasive always, and easy to score on every page. A federal evaluator is busy, skeptical, and bound by a rubric. Write so that giving you the points is the easiest thing they do all day, and you won't just submit proposals. You'll win them. Thank you. I'm glad to take your questions.